This review has been made possible by Toyota of Naperville. As you know, Toyota has tons of brand new Toyotas available for purchase. But did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to toyotaofnaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I'm driving a 2016 BMW X4 35i. Up front is a 3.0 liter turbocharged inline 6, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. This video is sponsored by CarMarshal.com. If you'd like to support the channel, click the link down in the description below. CarMarshal.com advertises for over 100,000 vehicles across the US. But let's get back to that 3.0 liter inline 6. Well, it is turbocharged, and it is what BMW puts in just about everything. The 3 Series comes with an optional 3 liter straight 6. Even the old 1 Series came with one, the X3 that I drove, the 4 Series that I drove. A lot of cars from BMW come with this engine. And that being said, it's not a bad engine. It's not like I'm getting tired of it. It's not like I don't like it. It's a good engine. It's just been in so many different things. All right, we'll do Sport Plus since we're finally warmed up here on the test track. Just slightly down. I'm trying to figure out a good way to do the volume here, but here we go. It moves. This thing moves. It moves. It's fast. It's not vicious, but it's fast. And it definitely picks up speed right away. The turbo spools almost immediately. This thing's fun. Definitely this thing is it's fast. Now, getting to the transmission is an 8-speed auto. It shifts pretty quick. I do have paddle shifters. It's a decently sporty transmission. It's a good transmission. But again, it's something that we've seen in every other BMW, and we're really going to talk about this point at the end of the video once we get through the whole showing of the interior, exterior, and all that stuff, because really, I don't know that BMW really needs to make these, if I'm quite honest. But before we get on to that, last but not least, this car is, of course, all-wheel drive. That is what the X is for. But let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 4 physical gauges. On the far left is my fuel, then my speedometer, then tachometer on the right, and coolant temperature to the far right. Then I do have a little screen telling me my distance till empty, my temperature outside, which is a brisk 45 degrees right now. I broke out the sweatshirt for the reviews for probably the remainder of the year, which is sad. But I do have my odometer and stuff like that. And of course, my warning lights are spread throughout. On the steering wheel, I do have my cruise control settings on the left, and then my volume, voice activation mode, stuff like that on the right. The steering wheel does have the M logo, which this is normally associated with the performance. This isn't even an X4M. What it's actually because is this is the M package steering wheel. It's something you could spec. I don't know why you would. To the left, I do have my headlight switches, fog lights. Then on the door, I do have my tailgate, which is really nice. It's really handy right there. I have my mirrors, lock and unlock, child locks, stuff like that. Nothing really too crazy, although I do like the door as a whole. I do have stitched leather and wood grain. I like it. It looks nice, but we'll talk about that later on. Then in the center, I do get my infotainment screen. This is a pretty standard BMW infotainment screen at this point. It does everything I want it to do. I like BMW's infotainment system. They've put this in literally all of their cars. It's the same system. I like it a lot. I think it's really easy to use right from the get-go. It displays everything in a way that is really easy to comprehend, and I like that a lot. And we'll talk about the scroll wheel in a little bit, because I think that is one of the industry leaders, in my own opinion. And then I do have 2 vents. I don't know why I said it with so much gusto, but we have 2 vents. Yes! Woo! Then I do have my climate controls. Nothing too crazy, dual climate here. I do have heated seats, which I'm pleasantly enjoying at the moment. And then I do have my CD player and my presets, stuff like that. Now, the nice thing about BMW presets is that this is not only just for the radio. You can set a preset to the navigation, to your phone, something like that. Think of them more as hotkeys rather than actual presets. So I could set number 3 to be navigate me home. So if you either have a kid who's borrowing the car, you know, they're 16, they don't really know where they're going, and they're out somewhere and they're like, I don't know how to get home, they can just hit 3, Navigation will set up, take them right home. Then we do have 2 cup holders and the shifter. I don't like the shifter a whole lot. I've voiced my opinion on plenty of other BMW reviews about this shifter. I think it's clunky, I think it's unusual, and I think it's weird. And I think for a shifter, something so vital to getting the car moving, I don't like that uncertainty. I like, physically putting it somewhere. That being said, it looks nice, so I guess it has that going for it. So I do have Sport Plus, Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro settings. That is all controlled next to the shifter. I do have traction control on and off. My hill descent control, interestingly enough, so this is basically like cruise control for going downhill. It won't let your car roll out of control, and I like that. I just don't know why it's in the X4, because I don't know who's really taking this out to the desert to climb some sand dunes, but, to each their own, I guess. Then I have my auto holding brakes, power parking brake, and then I have the selector off to the right for that center screen like I mentioned earlier. I really, really like this. I think it is one of the best in the industry in terms of feel. I know it has good tactile response, so I can keep my eyes on the road and just select things, move over. It really works, and I really, really like that. Compared to other vehicles in the same class, this might be the best. Now we got to talk about the seats. The seats are leather. They are stitched in the same sort of leather that the door cards are in. I really like it. I actually liked this mixed interior. I'm not usually a big fan of mixed interiors because it comes off as cheap, but I think it actually really works here. We do have the wood grain interior, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the seats are nice and comfortable. Like I said, heated, power, memory, anything you really want out of a modern seat you got here. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2016 BMW X4 35i, and honestly, the back seats are really nice. I do have a good amount of headroom, good amount of leg room. I do get some amenities. I get my 2 vents, 12-volt outlet, and heated seats for both rear passengers, which is really nice. I do have power windows, obviously, 2 speakers in the door. It's a nice back seat. I do have a center console with the little clamshell opening, rear cup holders. Nothing too crazy. It's finished in the same leather of the up front seats, and I like that. I like that attention to detail. Some people, by people I mean car manufacturers, I don't know why I said people. Some manufacturers, they put the really nice seats up front and kind of forget about the back, and they don't really forget about the back. The back is actually finished in nice leather as well, so I really like that. All right, here's inside the hatch of the X4. From this point of view, I really cannot figure out why you would want this over an X3. The X3 is going to have a way nicer hatch. You see, this is sort of, it's more of a hatchback rather than, an actual, I guess, SUV where you have a lot more roof lines, so you have a lot more storage room. It's a good amount of storage room, but honestly, the 330 Gran Turismo with the Sportback honestly has probably about the same amount of room. Now, the interior as a whole, like I said, I like it. I think it has a good mix of materials. I think it's classy. I like the wood grain. I like, how it all comes together. But overall with the interior, I don't know if this is something that I could get particularly comfortable in. When I first got into this car, I felt like I was going to a friend's beach house or vacation house where it was really nice and classy, and I like it a lot, of course, but I just don't see myself getting comfortable in something like this. But before we get on to all that stuff, let's talk about the looks. I think it looks okay. I think the front end looks all right. I think the back end does not really work. I think it's not sure what it wants to be. I remember when these first came onto the scene, when they first released these vehicles, almost said cars, but vehicles. When they first started releasing these SUVs, I was like, what are they going for? It's like a sportback SUV, which, I guess, but this thing isn't that sporty. It's sporty, it's quick, it's agile, it'll do what you want. But it's not like sporty. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what they were going for in terms of looks. It's a sportback lifted SUV, I guess. I don't know. But that brings me on to my final argument, which is why do you make this car, BMW? Why do you make this vehicle? Why do you make this SUV? Why is this a thing? Because look at BMW's lineup. They have 7 different SUVs. 7 different SUVs. 7 different SUVs. 7 different SUVs. Why? And actually, at the time of filming this, they just announced the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, they announced the 2 Series Gran Coupe, which is a 4-door of the 2 Series, which is normally a 2-door. So now you can get the 2 Series in 2 or 4, the 3 Series in 2 or 4, the 4 Series in 2 or 4, then the 5 Series, then the 6 Series, I believe 7 and 8 Series sedans, as well as the i3, as well as the i8, and the i8 Roadster, don't forget about that. And there are plenty of trim levels in between there. BMW makes too many vehicles. They just do. It's too many. I really sit and wonder. The reason I want to drive this is so I could talk about this. When is BMW going to saturate its own market? Why do we need a 2 Series sedan, as well as a 3 Series sedan, as well as a 4 Series sedan, as well as a 5 Series sedan, as well as a 6 Series sedan? They don't make a 6 Series sedan, but whatever. I'm getting caught up in it. They make too many cars. I will put up on the screen, as of the recording of this video, which it is October 17th today. As of the recording of this video, I will put up on the screen how many models BMW makes. It's too many. And you wouldn't think that that would be from BMW. You know, you'd think maybe like a more profitable, more economy brand would try to diversify their portfolio, but no, it's BMW. And so my big point is, I don't think we need the X4. I think the X3 is a really great vehicle. I drove a 2019 X3. I loved it. I think it was really great. The X5s are cool. The X7s are huge, and you know, they have the 3rd row and it's for the family. But who looks at an X3 and thinks, man, if it had a sportier back end, that would be for me? I don't know. I really don't know who this vehicle is for. I don't know who would buy this over an X3. I don't know why you would. And so in today's market, everyone's talking SUVs. SUVs are the thing to produce. Every company has their take on the SUV, and they have multiple. Every company pretty much has multiple SUVs. I'm not saying that. You know, I think it's good to have a small, medium, and large, honestly. But seven different options? McDonald's, the pinnacle of gluttony here in America, doesn't even offer 7 different kinds of burgers. You have more options with BMW SUVs than you do McDonald's burgers, and I think that's just so weird to me. And to be fair, I understand everyone should have the choice. Everyone should be able to choose whatever they want. I get that. But I just don't find this vehicle necessary. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for allowing me to take out the X4 and get my BMW rant out of the way. They are absolutely awesome. Their information is up on the screen as well as in the description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys. Aside from my soul.